We have another law to be able to find the sides and angles of a triangle that is acute or obtuse, and it's called the law of cosines. So we want to find the missing parts of triangle ABC if A is 60 degrees, B is 25 inches, and C is 32 inches. First, we will draw a picture. So notice only one angle measure is given. So we cannot use the law of sines. You have to have at least two angles given. So we use the law of cosines when it looks like a side angle side or three sides are given. So if you notice, starting with the 25, it's side, angle, side. So we're going to find side A first. So A squared is equal to, looking at our formula, B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cosine of A. So A squared is equal to 25 squared plus 32 squared minus 2 times 25 times 32 times cosine of 60. We get A squared is equal to 849. You square root both sides, and because it's a length measure, length cannot be negative. A is approximately 29 inches. Now, let's find the angles. Okay, we will use the law of cosines. So I'll find angle B first. B squared is equal to A squared. Okay, so we do know B squared. So let me start that again. We're solving for the angle B. 25 squared is equal to 29 squared plus 32 squared minus 2 times 29 times 32 times cosine of B. Okay, so we are going to work 25 squared minus 29 squared minus 32 squared divided by negative 2 times 29 times 32 is equal to cosine of B. If you are using your graphing calculator, please put parentheses around the numerator here. So doing the math and taking a cosine inverse, we get B is approximately 48 degrees. So the measure of angle C is equal to 180 minus 60 plus 48, 108. So measure of angle C is equal to 72 degrees. So if you notice, we have found all the pieces. So there is 1, 2, angle A is 60, 3 angles, and then we have side A going up here, side B and side C lengths given. The diagonals of a parallelogram are 24.2 centimeters and 35.4 centimeters. And they intersect at an angle of 65.5 degrees. Find the length of the shorter side. Now, from geometry, you are supposed to remember that the side lengths they bisect each other, which means I get two congruent pieces. So this piece and this piece are congruent. These pieces are congruent. So if you take 24.2 divided by 2 is 12.1. Okay. 35.4 divided by 2 is 17.7. Now notice this is not drawn to scale. Okay, so we know this angle here is 65.5 degrees. So we can find the shorter length, which would be here, so we'll call it x. So we know that x squared is equal to 12.1 squared plus 17.7 squared minus 2 times 12.1 times 17.7 times cosine 65.5. So x squared is approximately, and we will get our x value. So this is a calculator punch. The graphing calculator is actually the easiest to use. But if you will take your calculator and type this in, make sure you're in degrees. You get 277.67. We take a square root. We get approximately, since I rounded, 16.7 centimeters. Okay, number 3. A plane is flying with an airspeed of 185 miles per hour with a heading 120 degrees. The wind currents are running at a constant 32 miles per hour at 65 degrees. At 165 degrees clockwise from due north. Find the true course and the ground speed. Okay, so the true course is found using the law of cosines. So let's go ahead and draw a picture. Okay, and I will try to draw this a little bit more to scale so it'll make a little more sense. So here's true north. So let's help us out. So we need a 120 degree angle. Okay, and it's going to go 185. So 185 miles per hour. And then what you have here is you have the wind speed. So we'll use a different vector to represent that. And here's the wind. Again, here's north. And the wind is going to go at 165 degrees, 32 miles per hour. It's going to come down here a little bit closer to that. So the blue is approximately 6 times longer. Maybe I'll make that purple one slightly longer, just a little bit. Okay, and so where it's really flying, the path it's really taking is from here to there. You can see that makes a triangle there. And that's your ground speed. Now the true course is an angle. So that's going to be this angle here. So if you notice, your true course is going to be 120 plus, let's call this A here, plus the measure of angle A. So we have to find 2 pieces of information. We have to find the ground speed, and we have to find the angle. All right. So we know that this is 165 degrees. So if we look at this right here, this is called a linear pair, 60 and 120. So this 60 would be the angle here. So really the 60, let me redraw that. That is not quite so clear. So if this is 120, then what you have is this angle here would be 60. This angle here would be 60 by alternate interior angles. So we know that 60 plus 165 plus that other angle has to add up to 360. It's a circle. So this angle here, this angle right here in the black, is 135 degrees because 60, here's why. 60 plus 165 plus 135 is equal to 360. See, that makes a circle all the way around. So we're going to use the law of cosines. Let's call the ground speed x. So x squared is equal to 185 squared plus 32 squared minus 2 times 185 times 32 times cosine of the 135 we just found. So what gets tricky is trying to find those angles there. And we will use geometric concepts we know, such as alternate interior angles are congruent if the lines are parallel, corresponding angles are congruent, alternate exterior angles are congruent. That's if the lines are parallel, and also the fact that vertical angles are congruent. So x is approximately 208.86. It'd be miles per hour. Now, there's a minor problem because if you notice, the 185 has 3 significant figures, that speed. 32 has 2 significant figures, so I need to round it up. So it'd be 210 miles per hour. All right, now I'm going to call this here angle A. So I'm not sure if it's really clear. So this is angle A. So we can use the law of cosines. So we're going to use the side opposite of angle A. So 32 squared is equal to 185 squared plus 210 squared minus 2 times 185 times 210 cosine of A, which we don't know yet. So, using our graphing calculator and solving, A is approximately 6 degrees. Actually, I think we're going to get 7. I was trying to look at my previous notes. Let me do the math here. So, you're going to get different answers depending on if you round. And also where you choose to round your answers. All right, so in this case, if I don't round, I get A is approximately 6 degrees. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the true course. So the true course is 120 plus 6, which is 126 degrees. So that's all for the law of cosine.